Welcome to our strengths conversation today. I am Jane Liebecker, and I am a coach using the Clifton Strengths Assessment as a tool. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and here with me today is
I am Manetta Fields. I am joining you from the wonderful state of Maryland. I too am a certified coach using the Gallup Strengths Assessment as an amazing tool. And so we're going to get started here. And can you introduce yourself, guest, please?
Yes, I'm Bryan and I'm from the megalopolis of Berlin, Pennsylvania. If you can find it on a map, good for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, Bryan.
yeah.
So we're going to talk really quickly about dominant domains. And that's kind of what is the driving force for how you show up. And as we learned a few minutes ago, your dominant domain is,
Executing,
oh, he's a doer.
you
He
betcha.
gets things done. So, can you tell us how you learned about strength, Bryan?
Well, actually, I'm a pastor, and we had I guess he was a coach, come work with our leadership team probably 10 to 15 years ago, and introduced the idea of strengths and work with our leadership team some. And then a year and a half ago or so, my lovely wife behind my shoulder um, has is a um, certified strengths coach as well. So that's when I really learned about strengths, and we have a lot of good conversations about it.
That
Oh,
is
awesome. I love that you were introduced to it so long ago. That's awesome. So, where is deliberative in your top 10 strengths? Do you know where it
I,
falls?
Number 3.
Number three.
Number 3. That's
wow.
great.
So, let's share with our audience what deliberative actually is. I'm really literally reading from Gallup's definition of what it is. So, deliberative is an executing strength, and people strong in the deliberative theme are best described by the serious care they take in making decisions or choices. And the beautiful thing that goes along with that is they anticipate the obstacles. Does that sound like you, Bryan?
100%.
I love how exact these can be.
Yeah. And that's a really good, those are good characteristics to have on a team. So,
Yeah.
Bryan, what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths? We know that those are really important strengths in the top 10. Your number 1 is,
Ideation,
and your number 5 is
individualization.
individualizations. Wow, that is so cool. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us how you use your deliberative strength? Give us an example.
I would say I use it all the time. People get frustrated with me
Mm.
because people want quick answers, and I have a quick answer for them. No. So I have to think things through. I kind of do it without realizing it. Um, again, people get frustrated because they think I'm negative, and I might come across that way, but I guess that's where the individualization comes in. Is I only want the best for them, so I don't want to set them up for failure. I want them to think through things, and so yeah,
Can
I
I
use
just
it all the
say,
time.
I
That's a great
appreciate.
explanation. And so that's how you use your number 5 strength with deliberative. Can you give us an example of how you use your ideation along with deliberative?
I'm always, I mean, like ideas, they're just there. So, like I'm always having ideas, and um, so I think uh, probably the 3 and the 5 come through is weeding through the ideas. Like some people say, like I have no ideas, and it's like I can't turn them off. So it's just like weeding through all of the things that come into my brain, or if like Linda's working on something, um, like invariably within 30 seconds of her talking, I have all kind of ideas.
Wow.
Your brain must be very, very busy with
It
all
is.
those ideas and figuring out all the obstacles that come along with them.
Sometimes I share the whole idea. Usually I either stop or start mid-thought, and that seems to frustrate my lovely wife. But I've already had the conversation in my mind, so I finished, so I'm done.
You're an
Wow. I love
internal
that
processor
insight.
then.
Yes.
Okay.
He has intellection at number 10. So he also thinks deeply about all of those things, all those ideas, and with the individualization, thinking deeply about who might best fit and how they fit in a certain situation.
I
Love how they all work together. I just
Mhm.
love this.
And for me, I was just going to share that as a pastor, that is to be celebrated. I just applaud that you followed that path because you offer so much in that role. So I'm going to say thank you. If no one's told you that recently, thank you for that. And so,
You're
what do
welcome.
you like about your deliberative strength?
Um, well, that I think things through. So like I don't start off on an idea and realize it's not going to, like, I've already thought it through. So if I start on something, I know it's going to work, or if I don't do it, it's because I don't think it's going to work. So my son is high in strategic. He's 24, and so one of the things he likes now about me, he didn't like it when he was a teenager, is that he says, I need you to poke holes in this idea. He's an
Mhm.
external processor. So, and so that's what I do. You know, he sees it as poking holes. I look at it as maybe making it better. Have you thought about XYZ? So,
Mm.
I bet with that, you have built up a lot of trust in your congregation. They know if you're going to do something that it's going to work. That's
right.
awesome.
Mhm.
So, Bryan, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about taking the assessment, but just is kind of sitting on the fence about it?
Be the best $60 you ever spent.
Yes. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes, I agree. Of course, we agree.
Right.
It's hard to spend the money. I mean, I'm a cheapskate. I like to get things for free, but there are some things that are worth paying for. And I would say this is something that is, because it does give you a lot of insight. And it really helps. Put a little plug out to get a little coaching as well, because I mean, there's things that happen in life every day, and obviously you can't talk to your coach every day. Well, I can, but um, it costs me a lot more than $60. So, uh, but it's definitely worth it, because I think it helps her deal with me also, and she knows that if she needs an answer to a question, I need to think about it first, and because my immediate response is going to be something that probably she doesn't want to hear. So it just kind of helps. It helps in marriage. It helps in business. It helps with the church.
Mhm.
Helps in your own personal understanding of yourself. I believe God made each individual unique, and we need to celebrate that uniqueness. Too many people try to compare themselves to other people. Why can't I be more like? And sometimes as parents, or we may have had that done to us if we have siblings, but you're not going to be like your brother or sister or aunt or uncle or whoever. We need to celebrate who you are, and understanding that is just it's just amazing.
Yeah. So, folks, you have heard this from somebody who has thought this through thoroughly, and
Mhm.
he endorses it.
I do.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bryan, for being here with us today and talking about deliberative.
Yes, we
Very
appreciate
welcome.
your
It's been a
time.
joy.
Thank you.
So my wife wanted to, I had given her a piece of jewelry, 25, 35.
No, it was after we adopted DJ, so about 20 some years ago.
So
A little
20,
less than 20.
20 years ago or so. All our kids are adopted. And so I bought Linda an emerald ring to celebrate the adoption. And she wanted to, our middle son, DJ, who we're talking about, just got married 2 weekends ago. And so she wanted to give Heather, our soon to be daughter-in-law,
At the time, now our daughter-in-law.
the ring. So of course she asked me this Saturday morning. The wedding is Saturday. She knows I'm deliberative. So I made a couple comments. She said, I knew you were going to say that. And it wasn't in a good tone. So then I felt bad. And long story short, I was on board with it, but I needed to think it through.
Mhm.
So, so with deliberative people, you need to give them space to think things through. They will normally come to whatever, you're needing or wanting them to do. But they need to think it through, because if not, they will seem critical or negative, and they don't mean to be. They're just thinking through all the obstacles.
And
Good
since
insight, Bryan.
deliberative is like 30 for me,
Yeah.
I just thought it was a great idea. And
Hey, let's do this.
all my relationship building is like, yes, I know that this would make her feel so special and so loved and so accepted. And it was DJ's birthstone. And
Yeah. Hey, Bryan, do you like surprises?
he doesn't.
No, not at all. I
Never
hate
would have
that.
thought.
I love that Linda's leading with the feeling. And
Uh-huh.
your feelings came after you processed, because you're like, I felt bad, but you had to process it first. So it's
Well, and she didn't explain everything that she explained even here. She's just like, hey. So
Yeah.
you can use it if you want.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Is that
I love
okay,
it.
Linda?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I